Imagine there's a town that needs a new town hall. So the townspeople come together, they pool their public money, and they pay a builder to construct the building. That builder, who was paid with public money, uses public research and public infrastructure to build on public land. When the town hall is finished, it's beautiful and everyone starts using it. They have their meetings there, they run their events there, they host their community groups in this building. Then one day, the builder comes back and he puts a lock on the door. He says, "You can still come in if you accept my terms. From now on, before you can enter the town hall, he takes a photograph of your face. He asks you what you had for breakfast. He asks you if you're sleeping well and if you're having regular intercourse. Then, for the duration of your meeting, he follows you around the hall. He's analysing your micro movements and trying to assess at what point do you look bored. After you leave, he puts all of this information into a report and sells it to the highest corporate bidder." If somebody did that with the actual town hall, they would be thrown out. They would be chased out of town. But this is the exact business model of every major social media platform. You see, owning the town hall itself doesn't actually create a lot of value. It's the people who use the town hall to run their bake sale, host their study group, that make it interesting, make you want to go inside. The infrastructure, the social infrastructure, while hugely valuable, is not profitable. And so big tech found a way to monetize you. The fact that these platforms make no money from the actual service that they provide, which is social connection, should tell you everything. Social media is not a good for-profit business. This is social infrastructure running with a surveillance engine bolted to its side. The current state of the online world is a direct result of market failure. There are tools and services that we need for society to function that the market won't pay for. The problem is the public do not see social media as civic infrastructure. You've been convinced that social media is a product, but it's not. You're the product. Social media makes no money without this extra surveillance engine bolted on. Social media is civic architecture. It's the digital equivalent to roads, town halls, public squares, libraries. And the corporate hostility and profit-seeking behaviour of big tech's owner class presents our generation with a need that has never existed before. We need a global structure for holding common software. As architecture, social media creates the opportunity for everyone who uses it to make money, to organise, to communicate. But owning the actual technology is not profitable unless you load on surveillance capitalism. Right now, what we have are a couple of builders who think that because they built the town hall, that they should in perpetuity be allowed to surveil everybody who goes in. And they do not share the profits they make from studying your behaviour with you, the people they study, or with the creators who bring the value to their platforms. Mark Zuckerberg built Facebook in 2004. I'm going to read you a quote from his roommate at Harvard, Ari Hassett. Harvard had books called Facebooks, which included the names and pictures of everyone who lived in the student dorms. At first, he built a site and placed 2 pictures. Visitors to the site had to choose who was hotter. If we go back to my builder analogy, what Zuckerberg did is actually worse than the builder who's still squatting in the town hall 20 years later. Translating early Facebook into that analogy, Zuckerberg essentially went into public records and took photos of all the townspeople to build a shrine where men could go in and rank how hot the women are around them. So the town never even got a town hall. It got this weird fratty shrine where the lobby sort of functions as a town hall, so we've all just been using that way since. Imagine if there was only one place in your town where you could meet up with your friends. It's not a town hall, it's a small lobby room off the side of this shrine. And inside that shrine are all these tech bros looking at your baby photos. And while you're having your study group in a small, damp, shitty lobby, you know they're in there in a ballroom. Mark Zuckerberg is worth $264 billion. We reward the guy who stole the town hall and the community records and built himself a massive ballroom shrine that you are not allowed into ever, but has access to all of your photos. 10% of Meta's 2024 revenue, which was $16 billion, came from spam ads. In 2023, 40 US states sued Meta for knowingly damaging children's health and violating children's privacy laws just to sustain this engagement-based revenue model. They will harm children before they'll admit that social media is not a profitable business model. And this is where the Online Safety Act comes in. Instead of having a government that says, gosh, I'm sorry that those predators stole your town hall, let's make you a new one instead. We have a government that sees there's a group of ordinary people who are starting to lay their own bricks down for the new town hall. And the government says, wait, what are you doing? Don't do that. You're not allowed to do that. You can't have a town hall. You have to use his one. The shrine guy. The Online Safety Act has made running small-scale social infrastructure legally and financially dangerous for ordinary people. Because we know that on Meta our faces are bought and sold, the townspeople have moved to having their meetings in a bus shelter. The Online Safety Act puts those 4 people at a bus stop in the same compliance category as Mega Mark's Megalode Shrineberg. The Online Safety Act treats one person in a Mastodon server legally the same as Meta. It blanketly says that any user-to-user platform needs to monitor user behavior. Let's say you have somebody who, after 800 years of colonialism and 20 years on the internet, they are just tired of exploitation and abuse, and they want to move their group chat with their girlfriends out of WhatsApp and into a Mastodon server to keep their own private mails safe and secure between them and the 10 girls they went to school with. Just to host a group chat that can't be spied on, that person has to set up an LLC and take out indemnity insurance. They have to create illegal content risk assessments and take proportionate measures to those risks. Practically, that means I have to read the DMs of my friends who are using that server to speak to their partner. I have to tell my friend he shouldn't send nudes to him. And then I have to write a report on that in case His Majesty ever wants to confirm that we took proportionate measures. Just to have a group chat on Mastodon, I now need to create a whole content reporting system and complaints process. I need to create and publish my own terms of service, and those terms of service must clearly ban any illegal content. May I remind you that up until last week, the words Palestine action were technically illegal content. This applies even to small traders and volunteers, and any kind of failure by me to police my own community can result in massive fines. Big tech can absorb that. People trying to leave big tech and start their own communities cannot. The townspeople told the government about the weirdo in the town hall, and the government said, oh yeah, we should regulate that. So they produced an act that only Creepy Builder can afford to comply with.